the Chicago Bulls had a horrible defensive game against the San Antonio Spurs as they gave up 129 points, and a lot of those points came from the three-point line for the Spurs. They shot 16 of 38 from the field, 42%. Now, if you ask some people on Twitter or some people doing analysis, a lot of them are saying that the Bulls defense didn't do a good job of finding the Spurs shooters and didn't do a good job closing out on them, and didn't do a good enough job chasing them off the three-point line. But in my opinion, I think that's actually false. I think that's actually wrong. I actually think that the Bulls' poor defense, which led to the three-point shots, was the point of attack. The point of attack was just so bad in this game that the Spurs were able to use the pick and roll to just go right into the heart of the lane, which caused the Bulls' off-ball defenders to rotate, and that led to open three-point looks for the Spurs. If the point of attack defense was better, the Spurs don't get these three-point looks because they don't get those drives. And I'm going to show you an example of this through a bunch of clips. Okay, I'm going to show you why I think that the Bulls' point of attack defense was actually the reason why the Bulls gave up so many three-point looks and why the Bulls lost this game. So in this clip right here, this is the first play of the game. Okay, I'm just going to let this play go out fully here and play out fully here. And I just want you guys to see just how bad the point of attack defense was on this play. Okay, first play of the game. All right, so here we go, pick and roll. Okay, here's pick and roll number one. And by the way, count the number of drives and kicks on this too. So pick and roll number one, there's drive number one, kick number one. Drive number two, kick number two. Drive number three, open three-point look, bang. Okay, let's break this down. So when I talk about point of attack, right, we're talking about the people guarding the basketball. Okay, so this is going to be a pick and roll with Josh Richardson and Jakob Poeltl. And we're involving Caruso and Nikola Vucevic. Okay, this is the point of attack. Now, Caruso is the point of attack defender. Okay, he's the one that is guarding the basketball, right? So we need to pay attention to how this pick and roll is being defended. And right here, as you see, Caruso gets screened. So first off, I will say this: it's a good job by Caruso to make Richardson take the screen. If Richardson rejected the screen, which is I'm going to show you in another clip in a second here, that leads to absolute chaos for the Bulls. You want Richardson to take the screen because your help right here is Nikola Vucevic. So you want to force Richardson into the help. You don't want to let Richardson to go right around Caruso and right into the heart of the lane. That would be a disaster. But so I give Caruso credit for that. But he needs to get through the screen better because he needs to stay attached to the hip of Josh Richardson. He needs to stay on his hip as he gets through the screen and stay on Josh Richardson's hip. Now, Vucevic. We talk about how many times the Bulls play the drop, but if you look right here, Vucevic is backing up. If you're Vucevic, if you're standing up here, this limits the drive. It's not blitzing. He just needs to stand up just a little bit more because the pick's set up here and he's behind the three-point line. If he's just a little bit farther up, this doesn't allow Richardson to get an easy drive right into the middle of the paint here. So, again, point of attack. It's not good right now. Okay, even Caruso, who's a great defender, is not doing a good job. He's not on Richardson. He needs to do a better job of staying on Richardson here. So, because Richardson's able to get right into the paint, it forces DeMar DeRozan to come off of his man over here, Sohan, and cover up from the weak side. What DeMar DeRozan here is doing is making sure that Jakob Poeltl, who set the screen and is rolling hard, right, isn't just getting an easy layup or a dump-off pass from Richardson, right? So DeRozan here is making sure that Poeltl doesn't get an easy layup. He's basically helping Vucevic, who is the helper in this situation, okay? So this right here, why DeRozan had to come off of Sohan, a three-point shooter, is because the point of attack defense was so poor. They allowed Richardson to get into the paint, okay? So now Richardson doesn't have the layup here as the Bulls recovered just enough, so he's going to throw it back out to here. How many times have I brought this up? If the Chicago Bulls are forcing a player to go baseline, then Patrick Williams here, who's on the weak side, needs to come over and cover up the baseline, or the baseline pass, or the corner pass. He has to come over and take this away because this sort of pass from here to the corner is much easier than here than all the way over to the top of the key. It is very hard to make that pass to the top of the key. But you see in this possession, Patrick Williams isn't into there. He rotates late, and this leads to then, because now he was out of position, the entire Bulls are out of position because, again, the point of attack was bad, which made the Bulls defense rotate, and there's drive number one, kick, drive number two, kick, and leads to an open three-point shot for Keldon Johnson. Now, I just talked about Alex Caruso making sure that Josh Richardson took the screen, right? So here's Goran Dragic. We're going to be focusing on him in this play. This is Wesley. He's a rookie. He just played in his first game for in his NBA career. Congratulations to him. But he had a really good game against the Bulls when he probably shouldn't have. If you're Dragic, okay, your help is Andre Drummond. The screen from Zach Collins is coming over here. Drummond is going to be over here, okay? So if you're Dragic, you want Wesley to go this way and take the screen because your help is Andre Drummond. But instead here, you're seeing that Wesley just goes right around Dragic, and look what happens, right? Because Wesley went right around Dragic, DeRozan had to come over to help and make sure that Wesley did get a wide open layup, which then forced Green off McDermott, who had to come over to help Sohan, and now Doug McDermott gets a wide open 3-point shot, right? This isn't like the off-ball defenders are doing a poor job. They're doing their job because the poor defense up here led to an easy drive, and then they have to come over and help and at least hit an open 3-point shot, right? And Doug McDermott misses this three, but it's still horrible defense by the Chicago Bulls. This was awful defense. That's a poor job by Goran Dragic. Okay, same thing here. We're about to see a pick and roll coming off a transition play, okay? Look, here's a screen. And if you're Patrick Williams, you do not want Keldon Johnson to go this way because your help here is Nikola Vucevic, who's actually doing a good job, and he's up higher right now on the pick and roll. You want to force Keldon Johnson to take the screen to make sure that you force him into your help, which is Nikola Vucevic. But instead here, Keldon Johnson is going to go right to his left and go right by Patrick Williams, which, as you can see here, opens up a wide open lane to the rim. Patrick Williams ends up fouling him, and obviously that would have been a disaster if he didn't foul him. So just to show you, like, the point of attack right now for the Bulls is just bad, right? And they looked a lot better in the Celtics game. It kind of went away in the Pacers game, but this is just bad right now for the Bulls. And I'm specifically talking about this game against the San Antonio Spurs. So again, just overall, I'm upset as the Bulls should have probably won this game, but I'm showing you very bad point of attack defense by the Chicago Bulls. Now, let's watch this one. This one I'm focusing actually on Andre Drummond here. I just talked about with Nikola Vucevic, right? You have to be up here even if you're playing the drop, and because the screen's up here. Look at Drummond. He's just backing up, and Green obviously needs to do a little bit better job of getting through this and staying on the hip of Trey Jones. But this Drummond just backing up allows for Trey Jones just to get an easy floater, okay? This wasn't a 3-point shot, but this is an easy, simple floater. And again, what is this? Point of attack defense, right? This is just straight up the point of attack defense didn't do its job, and it led Trey Jones to get a wide open floater look inside the paint area. So just overall bad. Now, in this play, I'm going to show you not just the point of attack defense needs to be better, but also the off-ball defenders need to do a little bit better. As you're going to see here a drive here by Trey Jones, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's Keldon Johnson. But you're going to see Javonte Green's going to get back cut here. Okay, it's Keldon Johnson. Okay, so pick and roll one, and then here's the second screen. So Vucevic right now, you need to be a little bit up higher. This is okay position, but he needs to be a little bit up higher. I think Patrick Williams actually does a good job of getting through this. He's staying on the hip of Keldon Johnson, but he needs to really get skinny and get past the screen by Zach Collins. Okay, now right here, this is the part where I'm gonna blame Io for this, in my opinion. You can disagree with me, but what you're about to see here is Keita Bates-Diop is about to go and back cut Javonte Green. Now, in my opinion, I think Io DeSumo needs to step up here and block this off, to block off the drive from Keldon Johnson. That allows Javonte Green to not have to basically come off of his man and be in straight up help position, and he wouldn't get back cut. Also, Vucevic needs to be up higher, right? So that would also help too. But instead, though, you see here, Io doesn't really do anything, which basically allows Javonte to get back cut, and Keldon throws to the back cutter, Keita Bates-Diop, and because this is a wide open layup, DeMar DeRozan, who's guarding Sohan over here, has to come over and stop the layup. So this is a good job by DeRozan to stop the layup, but shouldn't be here in the first place, and the only reason why we're here is because of the poor point of attack defense. And Keita Bates-Diop gets the ball, DeRozan stops it from the layup, but it goes back out to the 3-point line, and Sohan hits a wide open 3-point look, right? That's not good. We do not want to see that, and obviously, in my opinion, at least, that is because of the poor point of attack defense that allowed that back cut to happen. If the point of attack defense is better, Javonte Green isn't in that position, right? He doesn't get back cut. So just my opinion in general. Now, even just poor perimeter defense in general, this isn't like this is point of attack, but it's not. You're basically to see the Bulls just completely miscommunicate And this leads to another wide open three. So right here, this is the Doug McDermott and Sohan pick and roll. Okay, this is a switch. Okay, DeRozan's guarding Sohan, but he should take Doug McDermott up here, and then Javonte just stays with Sohan after the screen. But you can see here that the defensive communication just did not happen. In my opinion, this is on DeRozan because he needs to yell switch. I don't know if he did. Maybe he did, but it's still on him. And you see that both people go to Doug McDermott. Now, because both people went to Doug McDermott, Goran Dragic here is like, oh crap, someone's about to get a wide open 3-point shot. So he decides to come over and help when this was not necessary if these guys just completely did it right and just switch. And because Dragic decided, oh, I need to come over and help because of the bad communication initially, it leads to a wide open 3-point shot by Wesley. Simple. It's just perimeter defense, man. On-ball defense specifically that I'm looking at. It's not off-ball defense. It's on-ball defense. That was horrible on-ball defense by the Bulls. You just have to yell switch, stay with your guy. That wide open 3-pointer doesn't happen, right? That's all it takes. It's very simple. But the Bulls aren't giving enough effort. They're not communicating enough, etc. So in this play here, I'm actually going to show you some poor. I'm actually going to show you some poor help on the rotations by Nikola Vucevic here. As Vucevic had a horrible game, but I also think he just didn't do a good job on a defensive end as well. So here we go. If you're green, you got to get through this better, but that's not the point of this possession. I'm specifically looking at this possession, Doug McDermott, okay? As Doug McDermott now gets the ball here, and one of the things that the Bulls have been actually doing this entire preseason so far and season is when a player is basically like in the corner area, they're forcing that player to go baseline. Okay, they're forcing them to go baseline instead of having them go right into the middle of the paint. Okay, you do not want them to go into the middle of the paint. So watch Doug McDermott here as Ayo basically says, "You're not getting to the middle of the lane. I am forcing you baseline," which is a good job by Ayo Dosunmu. I think that's a great job by Ayo Dosunmu to make sure that he, one, didn't take an open 3-point shot, but two, force them baseline because that's the defensive scheme. Now, Ayo's expecting there to be help when he forces a player baseline. That's the reason why he forced them baseline, because there's supposed to be help. If you're Nikola Vucevic, where are you? You need to come over here and stop this layup by Doug McDermott. Why? Because you're the big man. This is your job. This is part of the defensive scheme. And if you come over and help, you got Javonte Green here to cover Jakob Poeltl. You got DeMar DeRozan also to cover over here and guard Jakob Poeltl. There is no one in the corner here, which is McDermott's escape pass or release valve. So I don't understand why Vucevic just did not come on over to help, but he didn't. And this leads to an easy layup for Doug McDermott. That's on Vucevic. Okay, that's not on Ayo. That's on Vucevic, and I don't know what's up with that. I talked about Vucevic need to come over to help. On this play, I'm looking at the weak side. Weak side of the floor is these two guys. Ball's over here, so weak side is these two guys, on DeRozan and Javonte Green. Someone needs to come over and help Vucevic in the pick and roll here. Okay, now I could also argue that the pick and roll at the point of attack didn't do a good job, which led to this easy Collins roll. But let's just watch it. Okay, so pick here, nice screen. Ayo gets through it. Vucevic is stepping up, which is good. Now, if you're the Bulls, someone needs to come on over here to take Zach Collins, right? In my opinion, it should be Javonte Green, I think, or maybe it's DeMar DeRozan. Who knows? One of these two needs to come on over to stop this roll from happening from Zach Collins. Someone needs to come on over. I don't care who it is. Someone has to come on over. And instead, though, you see that no one comes on over to help Vucevic, and it leads to a wide open layup for Zach Collins. Okay, that's just horrible. That's just horrible rotation defense. So I'm showing you that this was like mostly point of attack defense, like poor point of attack defense for the Bulls, but it was just in general everything. Also, like it was also poor rotations as well. To end this, I'm going to show you a few good things, because there's always a few good things in each game. This one I want to focus specifically on Ayo Dosunmu. Okay, watch Ayo as he gets through the screen set by Jakob Poeltl, and watch him stay on the hip of Wesley. Okay, this is exactly what we want to see. So here's the screen. He is stuck on Wesley. He got through the screen. He's still making contact with Wesley's hip. He's through. Now, I would like Drummond to be up just a tad bit more, but it's okay. We can't be too picky. And this, watch what Ayo does. So Wesley does get a lane into the paint here, but Io has basically made sure that he cannot go back this way, right? He is basically making Wesley go to his left, which is good. This is exactly what you want. He gets back in front of Wesley to stop the layup, okay? So Wesley doesn't have a layup anymore. And he then forces Wesley to throw it back out onto the perimeter, and the Bulls are off and running. That's what we want. That's what we want to see with the point of attack defense, okay? Make the person with the ball have to throw it back out onto the perimeter because they couldn't get anywhere. On this play, I talked about how other off-ball perimeter defenders for the Bulls need to help the ball. And this play right here, I actually think Alex Caruso does a good job. So DeRozan's about to get picked here, so he needs to get through the screen as Sohan does the screen and roll with Jakob Poeltl. But watch Caruso specifically on this play. He's going to come over and help on Sohan here to make sure to stop the drive. And Sohan doesn't get a step into the paint, which is great. This is a good job by Alex Caruso. He came off Josh Richardson to stop the drive, which is great. And then because of Caruso came over, he throws it back out to Richardson. And this is a deep three and a good contest from Alex Caruso, but Richardson just made it. Okay, I can live with that shot. I can 100% live with that shot if I'm Billy Donovan. But the other stuff that I showed you earlier was not something I can live with. In this play right here, I'm going to show you another good example of help defense. As we see here, it's going to be Isaiah Roby is going to get a back cut on Javonte Green. Shout out to Kobe White for having a great game here. But he's going to come over from the weak side and stop this easy layup. Okay, so this is a good job by Kobe White to come over and stop this easy layup by Isaiah Roby. Roby thinks he has a layup but doesn't, and he tries to throw it to Keita Bates-Diop, who was Kobe's man. But remember how many times I've been talking about this. When the weak side man, initial weak side help comes over, then another person has to come over and help on his man. Keita Bates-Diop was guarded by Kobe. He came on over. Dragic was guarding Trey Jones. He comes over to stop Keita Bates-Diop, right? This is what we want to see. And tries to throw to Keita Bates-Diop. Hard catch, missed layup, and the Bulls got the rebound at the end. So, just to show you, this was just a bad game defensively by the Bulls. And I know a lot of people are going to be talking about Billy Donovan and his rotations at the end and Zach LaVine not playing. In my opinion, even if Zach plays this game, I think the Bulls actually lose it because the defense was so bad in this game. It was awful to watch in this game. Straight up awful. And it's inexcusable by the Bulls to be giving up 129 points and giving up so many drive and kicks to the San Antonio Spurs or any team in the NBA. Inexcusable. The defense has to be consistent. We saw good defense against the Celtics, at least after the first quarter. We saw good defense in the Pacers game, but mostly only in the first half. We did not see good defense in the second half of that Pacers game, and we did not see good defense tonight against San Antonio Spurs. So, the Bulls play the 76ers on Saturday, which is the day you're seeing this video. They better come ready with a much better defense against the Philadelphia 76ers. But that's all I have for you guys in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I am doing some live streams after games. I can't guarantee every game, but a good amount of games. I am going to be doing post-game live stream reactions and analysis. So if you're a Bulls fan and like to see live reactions, go check that out. I stream on this channel, so make sure you hit the notification button as well. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.